welcome back to the channel, and if you're new to the channel, please consider on hitting the subscribe button. Actually, let's go ahead and have a talk here real quick, guys. So most of my audience is not subscribed, and please subscribe. I do bring out really good deck profiles for you guys, trying to give this archetype and this legacy deck build a more support and more of a fan base, and it'd really help me out if you guys would please hit that subscribe button when you're watching the videos. Let's try to get to 30 subs by the end of the month. That would be awesome, because I'm trying to bring a lot back to the channel. So without further ado, let's go ahead. Guys, I went to locals this weekend. It was the very first locals we've had in a while, just because of the crush card virus and all the regulations and stuff, and not being able to get people back in. But with some states getting their mask mandates lifted and kind of a little bit of society going back to normal, we're able to actually start going to in real life events again. So it's very cool. So I want to go ahead and show you guys the deck profile that I went with. There's also going to be probably the live version of it on another channel, but I kind of wanted to kind of come one-on-one with you guys and give you a little bit more in-depth, because at that point I was kind of burnt out and I don't feel like I give the best deck profile, so I wanted to bring it back to the channel. But to start out with playing one Terraforming, it just searches your field spell. Very good card. It's Ash Bait, just it's very strong, a very strong one of. And then we play Theory of the Magical Meltdown. This card should be banned, and I can ban or limited. It's a very good utility card. It prevents your fusions from being negated, and on top of that, when you make construct under Meltdown, it's just like you're going full combo. But this card is come in clutch. It helped me push through my games to get very quick wins. Theory to Shaddoll Invoked. As you know, I am a very big fan of Alistair, because it can protect your window, it gets your invocation, it just makes your plays live, and it's your best normal summon in the deck. And then for the Shaddoll package, I play 2 Windy, 2 Squamata, 2 Aerial, Hedgehog, and Beast, and Dragon. So Windy is going to be the one that you're going to pitch off to just try to get a monster up on board to keep extending. Squamata just helps fuel for your Schism, or just helps get Schism into the grave if that's what you need. Because a lot of times, even though Construct can do that, you need Construct really to be getting your Aerial loop going. I will not change nothing about this. I play 2 Aerial, and I know a lot of people was cutting it back down to 1, but I think that's incorrect, because if you're trying to build board presence, you need to have both. You need the one for the DD Crow, but obviously you need the one for the flip attack. So 2 Aerials complete. I only play 1 of the Hedgehog. If I had to change anything in this ratio, I might consider siding or just bumping the count up to play the second Hedgehog, because the Hedgehog can come in clutch. But really outside of that, I think that's the best. That's probably the best Shaddoll lineup you can have. Disclaimer: I'm not playing Dogmatika. 1, because I wanted to keep it to more of a showing you guys you don't need Dogmatika to play this great deck, and 2, this deck can actually is held back by Dogman. I'm going to show you what you can do to replace. 1 of the light stage is a good target for Terraforming. Candina, Lilybell, Corbane. This engine right here makes your Dragoon, and yes, I do play Dragoon in this deck, because you do need a boss monster, but this really gives you great board presence, and it also helps put pressure on. So now at the point you're playing the extra bodies to make Dragoon, your new card, my new spice that I'm putting in here, is actually more live and is actually more efficient in this deck. So Candina is your second good normal summon. So anyway, either way you see these 2, you're going right into a Dragoon. It's just guaranteed, because Lilybell, as soon as added to hand, specials, and Corbane, if you have a Trick Star, it specials itself as well, or you control no monsters, it specials itself. So that's what you use to replace the Dogma engine. The only hand trap I played in the main deck was Valor. I will tell you this was very underwhelming. The idea behind Valor was it's really strong against Rogue. I do know that we have a lot of PK players coming back into the format, because where my area is from, a lot of people love Burning Abyss, and Burning Abyss is actually a really good deck right now, so it's a great time for them to come back. This hits that tour guide. I wanted to put it in for versatility. Okay, disclaimer, this is better than Imperm in my opinion, but it's not better than Gamma, so Gamma will be in this build, honestly. I kept on seeing myself siding the Valors, unfortunately, because they was just strong enough. Then the Garnet's on it, obviously, because you're making Dragoon. Now for my poly package, I placed 3 Shaddoll Fusion. Now that Very Fun Dragon is very friendly band. This is OP again. This is very good. We don't have to rely on trying to dodge around it anymore. 2 Invocation. The third one's just always going to be a Garnet, so don't ever, anytime you play Invoked, it doesn't matter, never run the third one. And I still believe in that thoroughly if you're playing Pot of Desires, because you should never launch a Desires unless this is in circulation to where you know that you're going to be okay to at least keep 1 copy, because obviously you only need 1 copy. Two, it can be OP, but it can also be a Garnet in the hand, it can also be situational. 2, the Shaddoll Fusion. I didn't realize this until I got to locals. I was playing 2 of this. This should have been something else. Honestly, this should have been this really should have been either Foolish Burial or the Emergency Teleport. I was kind of underwhelmed with seeing that, but you know what? We make mistakes. Then the Red Eyes Fusion, and then the last fusion target I play in this build is Super Polymerization, because it can help you just go ahead and get the last minute damage in. It also is really good when you're playing the new card that I'm fixing to show you here in a moment. Super Polymerization is really good in this format. It can help break boards. It keeps your Shaddoll plays going. I do think that I would probably still play a Foolish Burial or Emergency Teleport over the second Shaddoll Fusion though, instead of the first Super Poly, because you really don't want to have your hand sitting on 2 Super Polys, honestly. The spots for the deck. Now I know this is kind of not budget friendly, but this card right here with the Trickstar engine is very, very good, and it makes this deck very more consistent and gives this deck consistency it needs to be able to play through bad hands. Now, you do have bad luck sometimes, and I did have bad luck, but the one time that I resolved this, I won that game in under 5 minutes. It's because when you do the aerial loop and you put bodies up on board, it really makes it to where you have a lot of pressure, and you Dragoon, and then you Dragoon or a Construct. Dragoon Construct, and with the Alistair in hand is pretty much game at that point. Pot of Prosperity was really good. I love testing with it. I don't see myself cutting it in this version anytime soon, so I know it's expensive. Now, some good options you can go around if you cannot afford that. Play 3 more hand traps or play Desires. You could just bump your count up on Invocation and just maybe give a little bit more bump counts up on your Shaddolls. That'd be fine. Desires is still really good in this deck as well. Then, you know, obviously the one that's this card right here, it loops, it gets your bodies back on board, and on top of that, it makes that aerial play live. So Reincarnation was probably my second MVP of the tournament. It really just puts on a lot of board pressure, because if you're into the point to where you're kind of stuck in combo because you get interrupted, so what you do is you link off the gravity controller, add back what you want to add back off the construct, and then on their turn play this and bring back the construct, and then put board pressure up. So if they're milling out a bunch of stuff, that makes everything you do live and you're interacting on their turn. And then the last, then obviously the one Schism. I think at this point it's kind of hard to explain why this is good, because it's just really good. It's just you don't play it more than one. It just puts a lot of board pressure up. You can window lock them on your opponent's turn. Good. And the last card in the deck I played, the Paleozoic Dynamiscus. This is your inboard Mystic Mine Out. This is also can help against Rogue as well. Going first, this gives you more of a decent chance versus a hope your Mechaba doesn't die. So you can make Mechaba set this, and then you got a little bit more of a board presence at that point. But guys, this was a 41 card main deck. Like I said, the only thing that I would do different is I would readjust it to either play Gamma or Ash. I didn't play Ash in this particular locals because a lot of us didn't know what to expect, because it's the first locals back, so we just went with our gut feeling. So it was good trial and error, honestly. For the extra deck, I played 2 Construct. No need, got to show off the ultis. Now, disclaimer, these are limbs, but they're still, sitting at a pretty fair price point. Second best card, probably the best card in my deck, is Apocalone, because it does everything for you. I wish I had more room to play more. There's also a play when if you're stuck, you can make this and actually negate your own gravity controller to bypass the link restriction. Winda, because obviously Winda goes burr. Winda puts up a lot of pressure, and if you're playing Dragon Link, if they have no way, the only way that they have to out this is the Red Eyes card. If they don't have that, then they don't play. One in the Mechaba. Rajin. Very underwhelming, which I just think I'm cutting this. So the theory behind it was, and I'll show it more when I get to my side deck, was you have a win here and you get a Book of Moon effect, and I do side the draw and I do side another card that I'll show you on just you've seen it, the Gandora or the Garlada or whatever the kaiju is. So the theory was, if the kaiju wasn't live and you're going first, you could still make this, and Book of Moon and on their normal summon on a Dragon Link player is actually really strong. That was the theory though. Aguides, really good. Red Eyes Dark Dragoon, don't need to explain it. It's pretty much at this point your pressure and your major win con, and that's all the fusions I play. Now, I will tell you this. This was good prosperity bait, so I wanted that to be a flex card. I wanted to either be live for the Super Poly or live for just flex bait. So if you're building this deck, you either play the Starving Fusion Venom Dragon fusion or play the Caliga. I won't play the Rajin, honestly. Armades, 1-card combo into your Mechaba, but this is also, now that you have the Trickstar engine, this is really just, you can bait this with prosperity and just throw it either the Gravity Controller. Predaplat Verte Anaconda. This card is really, really strong. For the fact is, if your opponent knows that they're going to be trying to out your Goon, you could actually 5-head them and actually use Shaddoll Fusion off this and go full combo, then set up on what you need to set up on after that. Because there's a lot of times that I was like, you know what, I'm not really worried about what they're doing next, because I had board presence at that point, so I would pay the 2,000 and then burn off to go full construct or construct plays or not. Actually, now that we're sitting here actually talking about this, instead of playing the Caliga or that, cut this for Dweller, because Dweller is actually going to be really powerful in this format. So, and the construct is a 1-card Dweller. Hulk. So that's why I played. That's really quote unquote why I played the Veilers, because Hulk just gets you there. But a lot of times I just see myself at that point. I had enough bodies on board to where the Hulk was just going bye bye prosperity. But the quote unquote theory was, you play the Hulk, you make your Hulk off of whatever, and then off your Veiler, and then you bring the Veiler back off the Celine, and then you go to access code Talker. So access code Talker, you know, goes burr. By that time you have at least 2 pops and you already have board present. So this actually just puts pressure and gets that last little bit of damage out. And then the last link I play is a Nightmare Unicorn. You do have a lot of times, guys, where the Trickstar engine. So 1 normal summon of Candina, and if you have the Corbane in hand, is 3 bodies off of normal summon, or if you have the fill spell. So keep in mind, you can use your fill spell to grab the Corbane, normal Candina, and to grab the Lily Bell, and it's 3 bodies off just 2 cards. So it's really powerful. And so what I would do a lot of times is I would make this to spin a card back, and at that point I had at least a fusion in hand to go on. So I would make this into the access code Talker to give it the power boost, and then they was gonna get hit directly for 53. And that was the fan theory behind it. Now, a lot of times I did make access code Talker and would leave a Shaddoll up on the board, so if I didn't have enough damage. So with prosperity, it does cut the damage in half. So what I would do is I clear the board out, make this, and I'd leave a Shaddoll on, and then I'd use a Super Poly to finish out the game. But that's it for the 15-card extra deck. Like I said, just that 1 flex spot that I showed y'all is all I'm cutting there. Actually, it might not be a bad idea to play Dweller this format, honestly, because Dweller is just really powerful. And then go ahead for the side deck. I played 2 of the Mystery Dust Kaiju. Obviously, it was because I was afraid of the barrier lock, and I thought that maybe with Dinosaur coming back, a lot of people in my locals don't really go out of their way to buy Arch and stuff, but the Samorgas in the barrier package is actually really affordable, and what Reproductus can be made. Or if somebody decided to bring Bird Up in, we had to out the Bird Up. For my back row removal, I played 2 Cosmic, 1 Feather Duster, and 1 Evenly match. This never come up, but there was a couple of people who actually played Evenly matches that really worked out well for them. I just, in my matches, this never needed it, but obviously I think I would play the second Evenly match or play over this. It's just always good to have back row removal. I don't own Lightning Storms. If you own Lightning Storms, you know, by all means go for it, but I just don't own them. 3 Joel Lockbird. MVP for today when I played Dragon Link, because the Dragon Link, when they make full board, if you don't have ideal hands, you will lose that game. It's kind of hard to play their negates out. Besides this, going on game 2, they don't play and you kill them. And just keeping this in, now they're worried about the draw and lock bird. So if you see it, good. If not, they're at their point they're gonna play conservative. So they're gonna play conservative to be killed. Obviously, Dark Ruler no more to break their boards, and because of the fear of dinosaurs back in the format, Lancia. Side deck is probably underwhelming. I will do some changes with it. I think honestly what I'm going to do is end up maining the Dro from this point forward, maining the Drows and maining Ashes, and then do a set Phantasma on the side, because Phantasma is actually really good right now with the Link mechanic actually becoming a thing again with Bird Up, and with it becoming a thing again with Dragon Link. Alright guys, well this is my second place deck profile. I'm very excited. I've never placed, I will tell you guys this, I normally never get past third place, so it was an honor to actually get second place. This is actually a big achievement for me and for all y'all that's been following the channel since I've created it. So this is actually a win, not for me, it's a win for my subscribers, my viewers. But guys, I love you guys, and I hope if there's anything about the deck, any questions you want to know about the deck, feel free to drop them down in the comment section below. Any suggestions for changing, you know, hey, we're a community here. We're always going to be trying to learn off each other. But anyways, guys, the first place deck profile is actually up on the channel right now. So if you haven't had a chance to go watch that, please go watch that. The guy that won is actually very intelligent with stuff. So he's actually a really good person to learn from. So, but guys, I'm going to go ahead and quit wasting your time, and I'll see you in the next episode. Peace.
I feel the waves cut through me, hypnotized by the sounds I'm breathing.